Welcome to my channel. I'm Scott, and in this video we're going to talk about Wesana Health. Wesana develops psychedelic medicine. The company utilizes psilocybin and cannabidiol properties. Cannabidiol is also known as CBD. Its primary product is SANA013. The FDA has granted Wesana's request for a pre-investigational new drug meeting to discuss its product and its efficacy. The company expects to receive feedback from the FDA on its toxicology program and research results. They may receive full investigational new drug clearance and initiation of the phase 1 clinical trial later this year. It has a team of researchers and psychiatrists dedicated to improving mental health through drug development, clinical therapy, and remote patient monitoring. The company is operating 2 clinics in Chicago with plans to expand to a third. It has administered over 4,000 ketamine treatments since inception. The company is really excited to focus on psychedelics since the big pharma companies have ignored this opportunity for too long. The company was founded by Daniel Carcillo. He played professional hockey in the NHL for 9 seasons. He had 7 concussions and was forced to retire in 2015. His symptoms included light sensitivity, slurred speech, insomnia, headaches, head pressure, anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. For a long time, he went to doctors, but they did not seem to help that much. In fact, he spent 4 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars trying different clinical concussion treatments for traumatic brain injury, but was no closer to improving his brain health and quality of life. Then he gave non-traditional medicine a chance. Mushrooms containing psilocybin in combination with evidence-based therapies and other plant medicines. Just 6 months into his journey, he received news that his brain scans had no abnormalities and his blood work had normalized. He also noticed improvements in his face, the way he was speaking and acting, more patience, and a better ability to connect with his 3 young children. The company is headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, and was founded in 2019. The ticker trades on the OTC and CSE. This is a micro-cap company, 10 million market cap. They're trading at 52 cents a share, and they have 19 million shares outstanding. This is the company's income statement for the first 9 months of 2020 and the first 9 months of 2021, the third quarter of 2020 and the third quarter of 2021. Their revenue went up from $19,000 to $43,000. Most of their revenue is from CAP, ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. The company administers ketamine as part of the CAP program only after the patient has received a prescription from a licensed physician. So it's good to see that they're generating some revenue before they get FDA approval for their drug. Because most companies in this field are pre-revenue until they get FDA approval, which could take many, many years. But this company is not exclusively focused on drugs. They're focused on drugs and therapy. So the goal is to grow their therapy revenue to fund their drug development. They spent $1 million in general and administrative fees, almost $1 million in professional fees. It's likely R&D will be their largest expense each year. That was about $1.3 million. It does cost money to list your stock on an exchange. They spent $1.5 million in the first 9 months of 2021. In the third quarter, it was only $100,000. They spent about $250,000 in marketing. Stock-based compensation is $560,000. They had a net loss of $4.2 million in the third quarter. That's 29 cents per share. In the first 9 months of 2021, they had a net loss of $11.6 million. Here's a high level of their statement of cash flows. They had a cash outflow of $3 million in their operating section, a cash inflow of $2 million in their investing section, and a cash outflow of $400,000 in their financing section. In the first 9 months of 2021, they had a cash inflow of $15 million in their financing section. Since they're not bringing in much revenue at this point, the company will be relying on capital markets for funding their future expenses. Capital markets are debt and equity markets. In their investing section, they received $2 million of proceeds. This was from their investments in Debut Diamonds and SciTech. The way Wesana became a public company is through a reverse takeover. A reverse takeover is when a private company takes control of a public company. It's a cheaper and faster way to go public than through a traditional IPO. In May of last year, they took control of Debut Diamonds. Also in September of last year, they acquired Cytech and APM. APM is down here, Advanced Psychiatric Management. Their latest reported balance sheet is as of 9/30, and they have $11.3 million of cash, $231,000 of receivables. This is how much money other companies owe them. $25,000 of investments, $948,000 of prepaid expenses. This is when a company prepays for a product or service they're going to receive in the future. $78,000 of property and equipment, $458,000 of right-of-use assets. A right-of-use asset is when a company leases an asset that's owned by another company. They may be leasing one of their facilities or possibly some equipment, and the lessee books this on their balance sheet as an asset and a liability. It's an asset because it has value, and it's a liability because they owe the lease payments on that asset. And they have $23 million of unallocated purchase price difference. This $23.2 million is pretty much goodwill because it was the excess over the net assets acquired by Cytech and APM, which is a definition of goodwill. They have $1.2 million of accounts payable. This is how much money they owe other companies. $561,000 of debt, $19,000 of unearned revenue. Unearned revenue is when a company prepays for a product or service they're going to receive in the future. So they receive this $18,600. Once they provide the customer the service or the product, then they'll take this money off their balance sheet and book it as income on their income statement. They owe $500,000 in lease payments, and this lease is tied to their APM acquisition, and $329,000 in contingent considerations. This is also related to the acquisition of APM. This is where the stock has been trading since the middle of last year. It was over $3 a share at one point, but it's really come down since then. So if you like this stock at $3, you'll love this stock at under $1. The stock is down 76% since the reverse takeover, while the S&P 500 is pretty much flat in that same time period. A good sign is seeing a lot of insider buying. There's been no selling. Every quarter, lots of people have been buying the stock. Some notable investors are the CEO, Mike Tyson, the ex-boxer, Chad Bronstein, he's part of their management team, George Steinbrenner's son, K2, this is a Canadian hedge fund, Ambria Investors, The Conscious Fund, Sol Global, and JLS Fund. These investors own about 40% of the company, while the CEO owns 20%, so he has a lot of faith in this company. He has lots of skin in the game. They have a stacked leadership team. Their executive chairman and co-founder, he founded another company and raised over $150 million. Their chief scientific officer, he received FDA approval for 5 products. And getting FDA approval is not easy. It takes a lot of expertise, time, and money. Their CFO has tons of experience with other companies. Their chief marketing officer, who held positions at Twitter and Walgreens. Their senior VP of medical and scientific affairs. He has tons of experience with pharmaceutical and biotech companies. Their chief medical officer, he founded the first dedicated psychiatric ketamine clinic in the Midwest. And most of what this company does involves ketamine. They have a really impressive scientific advisory board. Dr. Carrick with over 4 decades of experience. A professor in the Department of Neurology. James Fadiman, who has been working in psychedelic research since the 60s. Robert Kaufman has 32 years of experience as a psychiatrist. And Rachel Yehuda, professor of psychiatry and neuroscience. Here's the company's board of directors. Mitch Kahn has a big presence in the cannabis space. CBD is an important ingredient in this company's medicine, along with psilocybin. Also George Steinbrenner IV and Ian Bernstein, co-founder of Equitable Advisors. His company can help Wesana grow and scale. The combination of cannabidiol and psilocybin seems to be a great formula to help TBI. And the great thing is there's no dependency or side effects. They're currently doing animal testing and the results are really impressive. Their medication Sana 13 has greater than a 50% improvement over LDP. These types of studies will really help the company when they meet with the FDA. If that meeting goes well, the stock price will shoot up. This is a huge market they're tackling. 15 million people have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, 17 million with depression, 20 million with addiction, and 40 million with anxiety. That's just in the United States alone. Right here in the US, we spend over $150 billion in psychiatric services, which really helps employ the 50,000 psychiatrists. So it seems like this company has some amazing things on the horizon that could change a lot of people's lives. Their medicine will likely improve your life significantly or one of your loved ones. I'm really excited to see how this company does in 2022. So let me know what you think. Give this video a like, subscribe, or comment below. Also, if you'd like to get a custom valuation or just support the channel, you can become a member by clicking on the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.